Before I delve into this video, I want to make it known that I am of Asian descent and have celebrated Lunars New Year's every year since I was born. Secondly, I am just some random Twitter lurker, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is just based off of evidence I've collected and research I've done. Thirdly, please do not target anyone mentioned in this video, I am only trying to inform. So Royale recently released a Valentine's Day and Lunars New Year update. You might be thinking, that's awesome. How inclusive. Unfortunately, the developers were misinformed on some topics, as they did ask someone who celebrates it for food ideas decor. The Royale high-defs included foods and architecture that are connected with Japanese culture, instead of Chinese, Vietnamese or Korean cultures. Groups of people that celebrated Lunar's New Year on February 12th. Why is this an issue, you may be wondering? Because mixing up different groups of people's cultures is harmful to the groups of individuals. It takes away from their unique differences and groups them all together. Another issue to this is the lack of representation for Vietnamese and Korean people. As stated by this tweet, the update was mainly consisting of Japanese and Chinese culture. The main issues in this update were the foods in the food stands and the arch was here. With a quick Google search of Japanese archways, you can tell immediately how this was not researched as it should have been. Thankfully, a developer of the game released a statement of how the arches will be remade. Here is a snapshot. Secondly, the foods in the food stands are mainly Japanese, and what was Chinese, the quote-unquote dumplings, were actually steamed buns. There was no inclusion of Vietnamese or Korean foods whatsoever, and what was included of Chinese foods was wrong. All of the foods you are seeing on the screen currently need to be replaced. Having done some research, there are many foods that can be replaced with them, listed here. Korean stir-fried noodles would be a great replacement for the ramen. Chinese black sesame dumplings would be a sweet alternative to the Japanese dessert, takoyaki. The spring rolls are culturally appropriate to Chinese spring rolls, but they could also include the Vietnamese spring rolls to diversify the food choices. Vietnamese spring rolls use a rice paper to wrap up the rice noodles, meats and veggies, whereas Chinese spring rolls are wrapped in thin sheets of wheat flour. There were also complaints of using the color white in some hair accessories, as white in Chinese color is associated with death. Of course, we have some ignorant people who are unaware of the existence of other cultural beliefs who decided to put their 2 cents into the matter, but what can you do? Many people have argued that the colors of the garments can just be changed so they are more appropriate, like gold or red. What are your guys' thoughts? If you think that is all to the drama, you are unfortunately incorrect. There was a certain individual who received a lot of backlash because they tweeted about this incident. missrileylane. She tweeted the following. Hi guys, I did not work on the day update for Royale this year. The devs who were hired to do the Lunar New Year decor and fun got the cultures mixed up, and I'm so sorry this happened. I did not see any of the update before it launched, so I couldn't say anything. I'm going to ask Barbie if I can fix any mistakes in things and make it culturally accurate. Please let me know if there is anything I can do to any who are feeling hurt. Reply and I will try to respond or DM as many as I can. A seemingly sweet gesture, but two Royale high-defs beg to differ. Diartha Teddy and Kateka. Kateka pointed out how opportunistic Riley was being for trying to overtake someone's job, instead of letting the team fix it themselves. Riley defended herself by saying that these mistakes went by other developer members and the fact that no one saw anything wrong with this update was alarming, so that is why she stepped in. Kateka responds to this by saying how it would have been understandable if things were not already being worked on, as every game has errors, but this simply isn't Riley's project to fix. Riley responds by saying the only reason I offered is because I'm the only member who has knowledge about this. Since everything was incorrect, I was going to work with them and fix it. I meant no harm by any of it, that was all. Last I checked, missrileylane is white. Saying that she is the only member who has knowledge about this is a little weird, especially for me, a person of color. I do believe there are more qualified and knowledgeable people out there who can speak up about their own culture and celebration just fine. Reddy's response to Riley was a little brutal, but the truth hurts sometimes. Reddy stands up for her team, saying that research was done but mistakes were made. Something the team acknowledged and were working towards fixing. Reddy had also mentioned how she is remaking some items. How they decide to fix this update isn't any of Riley's concern, as she doesn't even work there anymore. Reddy will later describe what had happened being a result of built-up frustration from Riley being rude to the dev team over the past few months. The Twitter community went absolutely wild over Reddy's tweet, describing it as Riley finally being put in her place. Riley has released a tweet about her current employment with Royale High, but we will touch on that later. Riley had responded to the community backlash with a post that is now deleted, but thankfully I was able to archive it. It reads, "If me calling out racism and trying to make things right culturally accurate is what I am cancelled for, then I'm proud. Love." Thank you guys. This was aggravating to read. Notice how she feels she's right about everything when it literally isn't her culture. There is a difference between being an ally and supporting us and trying to be a white savior. We don't need you speaking for us. Another thing to add is how she wasn't being cancelled, again over-dramatizing the situation, and as Reddy stated priorly, playing the victim. I personally believe Riley should have just apologized and deleted her tweets, but she decides to drag it out, releasing another tweet where she won't stand for racism or not respecting cultures. I'm not sure where she got the word racism, as from my understand it was culturally disrespectful but racist. There was no prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism against any ethnic group in this update, again with the dramatization. Luckily it was not just me who was annoyed by these claims. Many people begin to speak up about this matter. Of course, unable to take the criticism, Riley has since disabled her comments, but that hasn't stopped people from quote retweeting her. Back to the tweet in regards to Riley's employment at Royale High. She claims to still be working for Royale High, but many quote retweets are claiming she is lying. One that caught my eye was that of a Royale High scripter. "I'm sorry, but if a developer and a scripter both say you are no longer working there, maybe you aren't?" But as Riley stated, anything on the internet can be false, so until further confirmation from Barbie herself, I guess we'll never know. Anyways, that's all for today. I decided to make this video because it is something I am very interested about and hope that I informed everyone as good as I could. Any updates will be added in the pinned comments, and I will be adding corrections if anything I said in this video was wrong. Thanks.